And we are back, and this time we are going to be watching a live action trailer. But to keep with the theme of my podcast, even though this is not a cartoon, this is certainly a crazy one. And so far it is one of, if not the most talked about movie that is happening at the Cannes Film Festival, especially with the fact that it is coming from one of the most acclaimed filmmakers of all time, Francis Ford Coppola. But even though it is only the people at Cannes who had a true taste of this movie, we, the public, did get a little bit of a tiny glimmer, a tiny parcel of what this movie could possibly be. And even this trailer here, oh boy, we don't know what the fridge is going on, but let's just say a lot is happening. So with that said, it is now time that we shall go and check out the teaser trailer for the upcoming Francis Ford Coppola movie, Megalopolis. And that is Megalopolis, to which it is said that it will be coming soon in IMAX later this year. Now, we don't technically have a full-on confirmation as to when specifically or who will be the distributor. So far, it just says, like, I don't know if it's just IMAX themselves who will be distributing it, or if a major studio is going to come and, like, help out with the distribution. But one thing we do know is that it will be coming out in 2024. And on top of that, you have probably also seen that it has an all-star cast that is attached to it with many familiar names, including, but not limited to, Adam Driver, Giancarlo Esposito, Natalie Emmanuel, Aubrey Plaza, Shia LaBeouf, Jon Voight, Jason Schwartzman, Talia Shire, Grace Vanderwall, Lawrence Fishburne, Catherine Hunter, and Dustin Hoffman, all presented in this one big, crazy piece of madness over here. And from the plot of what it's been said about Megalopolis, apparently this movie is about the fall of the Roman Empire, but depicted in modern New York City. That's apparently the summary of what this is. But if you're just watching the teaser trailer, like, if you want to get information of what it's about from there, I'm sorry, folks, I don't think it can help you, because honestly, the most that I can ever say is just, what the fridge is going on? Like, I understand, like, metaphorical imagery, but holy crap, does this thing take it to the next level? Like, I could just go into some random image, like, you'll get this that's going on with the, like, you got these lights with a ghost that's going on, like, I don't know, like, you got this endless hallway thing going, and then, like, okay, everybody is cheering in New York. Oh, and then, well, okay, we got this thing with the eyeball and a woman on a bed. Like, you got, hold on, like, I know there's one part, though, like, it even goes, like, it goes even crazier. Like, okay, like, we got the woman here, and we also got 3 women, or a bunch of women. Yeah, we got Giancarlo, like, campaigning, I guess. We got, okay, these women on a unicorn. That's a thing. Yeah, and this is how I'm feeling right now with watching the trailer. We got pro wrestling. Then, okay, well, we got this happy Roman person. What else? I know there's like a bunch of other, like, craziness that would go and happen. Well, we got this special little production. Okay, well, I guess he wants to, now Adam Driver wants to be a superhero right now, I guess. What else is there? Well, we got explosions, we got punches, we got smoke, we got Adam Driver watching a woman drown. There's just so many things happening at the same time. Oh, and then we got stuff like this also. We got Lady Justice, who just,
don't let them out.
The giant statue just giving up. She just there, like, she like, honestly, she's just burned out. Like, she already went through so much after, like, all the trials with Donald Trump and the GOP, and now, like, with the addition of what's going on here, she's just tired. And, like, even, like, this dude, he's also tired as well. He's just giving up holding on to his thing. There's, like, so many things. Oh, yeah, and apparently in New York, you could watch gladiatorial races. Apparently that's still a thing that's going on. Apparently you could check that out at Madison Square Garden. So all of this to go and say is that, yeah, apparently this is going to be one crazy movie with a lot of weird, crazy things going on. And so far, like, just by watching the teaser trailer, none of this makes absolute sense. Like, there's no logic that you can find on this. I mean, we just watched the trailers of Despicable Me 4 and Ultraman Rising. And those two look very down to earth compared to what we have just seen with Megalopolis. And so far, that is what critics have been saying. Like, those who have seen it in cons, like I've said before, they have mentioned that this thing was an absolute wild ride. This thing is just absolutely crazy. But rather, if that is a good or bad thing, your guess is honestly as good as mine. Because so far the reviews have been extremely mixed. So much so, even when you go on Rotten Tomatoes, and I know a lot of people have very mixed feelings when it comes to Rotten Tomatoes, but I'm just using this as an example. So far, with the reviews that have been submitted, it has been 52%. And even the ratings, oh my goodness, they are unflattering. I wish I could move this, but whoops, sorry about that. Didn't mean to press that. But apparently, so far, the average ratings with all of them, or at least just based on the top critics, so far the ratings have been 4 out of 10. That's the average reviews that it has been getting. So there are some people who did like it, and some people who absolutely despise it. And based on all the critics so far, the average is 4.6 out of 10. And again, at 52% with both of them, coincidentally enough. And they even mentioned that with the movie, like, there's even more madness that we didn't get to see. There is even one instance, I kid you not, according to the people who have been at the screening of Megalopolis, there was one guy at the screening, he would just randomly jump up and he would go and say that, like, he would be like, talking to what's happening at the movie, and he would say that, "Excuse me, Adam Driver, I am from the press, and I have a question for you." And no joke, Adam Driver, in the movie, he actually looks at the guy and says, "Yes, sir, I would like to know what your question is." So somehow you got this strange interaction that is going on, and honestly, like, people are kind of taken aback from it. Like, it is legit part of the movie, and some people are even questioning, how is that going to happen when you're going to release it, like, all around the IMAXs? Are you going to go, like, does every IMAX has to go and hire an actor to be that press guy in order to get that full-on immersion, in order to complete the experience or the vision that Francis Ford Coppola has in there? Oh, and this, speaking of Francis Ford Coppola, this is not to mention about the production of what happened during the making of it. And I mean, I get it. With Francis Ford Coppola, as much of a legend that he is getting old as well. And unfortunately, it hasn't been that long ago since his wife passed away. But during the making of this, with Francis Ford Coppola, he was just all over the place. Apparently, the production was also as crazy as what we have been hearing about this movie in particular. So much so that even the crew was starting to question if Francis Ford Coppola was, like, does he actually know what he's doing? Especially with the fact that, well, he's the one that is fully in charge. Like, he's the one that is fully funding this entire feature. It has a pretty hefty budget of $120 million, but it's not from any studio whatsoever. It all came from the pocket of Francis Ford Coppola. At least that is what I have heard. If I am wrong on that, feel free to go and correct me on it. But yeah, apparently, like, Francis Ford Coppola was pretty much entirely in control. He's the big boss. There's nobody that can go and stop him. And it's pretty much like going on the highway, but in the wrong direction. That's what the production is said to have felt like when making Megalopolis. And I'll even say right now, the fact that it had mixed reviews so far, that I gotta say is like a death sentence. If you would go and bring your movie at cons and it did not get amazing reviews, regardless of how long the standing ovation can be, that pretty much is a confirmation that your movie is pretty much screwed, and there's a very high chance that is going to be a failure. Such is the case last year with Disney. You may recall in 2023 when Disney released both Elemental and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny at cons in order to go and really hype things up for those films. And so far for both of them, when they first came out, the reviews were absolutely mixed. A little bit like what we have seen so far with Megalopolis. Maybe not to like extreme saying that it's a masterpiece or an absolute garbage or anything like that, but so far the reviews, they're not so flattering. And that ended up severely affecting the box office results. Now, with Elemental, it did get very lucky where despite the fact that it started out horribly, it did manage to become profitable in the long run, where it did find its way to become successful thanks to positive word of mouth. But then, when you have Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, there was no hope for that one. That thing, it just fell flat, and it became one of Disney's big box office bombs that happened in 2023. So this is just to go and clarify that when those things do happen, when you do see mixed reviews, or when the reviews are not overwhelming praise at cons, that's when you know that there's kind of this curse that's going on with Megalopolis. And I can imagine by the time that movie does come out on IMAX, I don't think people are going to be very much interested to see what's going to be going on with that one. So, yeah. And I mean, it is, it's not necessarily that positive to go and talk about that, especially with the fact that, again, Francis Ford Coppola, he is getting old, and who knows, with his age, there might be a chance that maybe this is going to be his last feature film. So we will have to wait and see with how that goes. But still, though, if this is going to be his final film, so far, based on what critics are saying, there is a chance that he might go out on a really flat note there. But yeah, overall, I just gotta say, I mean, at the very least with Megalopolis, it does look very artistic. I will give it that. I mean, it's a very artsy and very metaphorical-like film, but is it going to be good? Is it actually gonna... is it going to be the masterpiece that you would expect from Francis Ford Coppola, the same man who gave us the Godfather movies and Apocalypse Now and all those features? Highly doubtful. Honestly, very doubtful. But I guess we will have to wait and see when we do check out the movie ourselves, when the film will be released in IMAX later this year. And with that said, I would like to go onto the chat wall, and I'd like to ask you all, what did you all think about the teaser trailer of Megalopolis? And also, what did you think about the things that we have heard so far about Megalopolis? I would like to know what you think on that. And also, I'll even go to a further extent, and I'll go and write a poll on Twitch where I will ask you all, will you be watching Megalopolis? Excuse me, folks. So let me just do yes, and then I'll do no, and then I'll start the poll. Okay, so let's see what you all have to say. All I could say is, what the actual fruit is going on? Brain fart. Though I do like the idea of a modernized fall of the Roman Empire, but seeing something like this is just absolutely crazy. Even though the special effects are eye-catching, but the insanity of this movie is just wild, and nothing makes any sense. It's just like me watching the 1974 movie Zardoz. That that is the movie that I have no idea what is going on, but who knows what this movie might give us. I mean, I guess we'll see. Anyways, what other comments do we have? The best way I've heard someone describe this is that someone gave Francis Ford Coppola $120 million to remake The Room. And yeah, needless to say, is this what recreational drugs feel like? This is a very insane trailer. From the cinematography to the acting to whatever the unicorn scene was. Watching it is like how I describe watching Boss Baby 2. It is a movie where every person involved is high, and yet I can't look away. I want to study this trailer. This is why cavemen drew on walls. Oh my god, yes. Like that should be on season 3 of Primal. That should be the whole that should be the whole plot line of season 3 of Primal. It's that somehow Spear and Tooth, they would find themselves in the movie theater checking out Megalopolis, and for 10 episodes, they try to understand what they have just witnessed. That should be Primal right there. There you go. Another masterpiece for Gendy Tartakovsky. Oh, yeah. But honestly, I do get what you're going with. And especially with that Boss Baby 2 comparison, that is absolutely true. That's another movie that I remember where it's just, like, it feels like a movie where people just did not care and decided to go absolutely insane with it. Oh my god. And that looks like what we could be getting here with Megalopolis. It's just the fact that it's a movie where everybody is going crazy and like who the fridge knows what is going on in there. All right, let's see what we got here. While I am a fan of a lot of the works of Francis Ford Coppola, I have no idea what I just watched with this trailer. And given the reviews being mixed, I feel like it's not going to do well. Not to mention the crazy production. I feel like Francis Ford Coppola might go out on a low note if this is his last film. Again, that is if. So we will have to wait and see on that. But yeah, like, you guys understand why I have to show you this trailer. Sure, it ain't animated. I mean, you do get some animated moments, especially with that fed up Lady Justice here. But still, though, it's just like so much of it is just wild. And yeah, I get it. It's a teaser trailer. It's not meant to show us a whole lot. But a lot of what we are seeing so far, it doesn't really give us much of an idea of what the fridge this is about. I mean, it looks like, I don't know, it looks like a bunch of crazy things are happening, and there might be some politics, including Giancarlo Esposito and Adam Driver being like, I don't know, the mayor or the president or something like that. Who the fridge knows? Let's see. What else do we have here? I have no idea what I'm seeing here. Not only everything that I've seen in this trailer looks crazy, but the production of this whole thing is even crazier than the film itself. It could end up getting nominated for Best Picture Oscar and Worst Picture Razzie at the same time if current critical reception holds. Yeah, you know what? I am going to be curious to know what this production is. I mean, this, I am curious, like, talking about this, I feel like this could be an idea of making a history video. I know it's not necessarily animation related, but it wouldn't be the first time I would do this. I've already done that with 2019 Cats. So I would be curious to see if maybe I could go and do a video about the history of Megalopolis. That's just a maybe. I'm just conceptualizing. I'm just thinking about this idea. You could tell me if that's a good idea or not. Let me know what you all think. Anyways, what else do we have here? What other comments would there be? This is the first time I have seen this trailer from the looks of it, it looks like a crazy mess, especially since I heard that Francis Ford Coppola self-financed this project and was a mess of a production. I don't think a major studio will pick this, or even an indie studio too, as this is a polarized film that audiences will walk out of. I want to see myself to see how bonkers it is when it comes out. Yeah, honestly, there is a part of me that is actually curious. Yeah, and I'll even say that it is true. Maybe it is just IMAX that's going to go and distribute it. You know when this movie is way too insane, when even A24 is looking at it going, what the fridge is this? You guys know what I mean? All right, let's see what else do we have. I think we'll read two more comments, and then we're going to move on to the next break. I don't know what to think of this exactly. I might just have to wait and see it for myself, but it looks like this is a project that Francis Ford Coppola either has had faith in it from the beginning to end, or that he started into it with a lot of faith, but just got knocked sideways by everything that has happened in his personal life. Either way, it's such a shame that the mixed reviews have cursed this to be a flop right from the get-go. We wouldn't want Coppola's career to go off on a whimper, wouldn't we? Yeah, it's true. But I mean, I could totally be wrong. I mean, with that comparison with what I said about cons and what happened with Elemental and Indiana Jones, I mean, that's just one example. I mean, there is a chance that this could also be a tremendous hit, and the movie could make more than its money back in order to turn it into a profit. Who knows? I'm just making speculations here. And I mean, I have been wrong before, so we will see. Anyways, an original sci-fi film that's stylized and not a family film? Okay, this has my attention. Francis is bringing his family in again with his sister and nephew. Then again, he has always worked with his family. Nice. Overall, sounds like an interesting movie. I'm glad he made his passion project. Still can't forgive him for continuing to support Victor Salva. Look up their friends and Salva's crime. I hope Francis is proud of what he made and that he's happy with the result as a final film. Well, I'll just say now that, well, based on what he said at cons, he seems happy, so who knows? But again, if you are curious to go and check out what Megalopolis has in store, then don't forget to go and check out the movie when it comes out later this year. Oh, and I almost forgot, actually, the poll results from what's been said. So far, I have seen, so far the percentage, I believe... Oh, yeah, someone did write to me. Thank you, Reigns Gem. The poll ended at a 64% no. Ah, I see. Well, I guess it doesn't have that much interest compared to either Despicable Me 4 or Ultraman Rising, but, you know, it's interesting. I can give it that.